this judgment today is very shocking to us because we missed an opportunity to lay the foundation and path for political resolutions of these issues. And it's so painful that the eminent jurists understood the issues, but in their conclusion decided to arrive at something that is still worrisome to us. And what is that? The Supreme Court agrees today that the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya is illegal. That is the first victory that was recorded today. Then the Supreme Court also said today that the invasion of his house by the security agencies that led to killings and the man running to safety is also illegal. These are the foundations. And then the Supreme Court also goes further to say that the revocation of his bail ought not to have happened, thereby saying that he's supposed to be enjoying the freedom, which is the very foundation of this struggle up to Supreme Court. So now what happened? If the Supreme Court agrees that the extraordinary rendition from Kenya is illegal, and the Supreme Court agreed today that the invasion of his house is illegal, and the Supreme Court agreed today that he ought not to have been declared bail, then why is Nnamdi Kanu still in DSS custody today? The Supreme Court should have not only freed him, but lampooned those who committed those atrocities.
Yes.
And when they talk about some of these conventions that were cited by lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu are not national laws, I disagree. You know the extradition treaty that was signed by Malami, the Attorney General.
Yes.
That treaty, that act, condemned extraordinary rendition. So it's there in the law. Even as elementary law students, we are told method of forming laws, conventions, inclusive as well. So if you have international conventions that have been codified and ratified, they immediately becomes law. Like African Charter on Human Rights and so on and so forth will cite. These are laws. So why are you saying that we did not sign national law? National laws were cited. So for whatever reason, like I said, they are remitting back to the federal High Court. We strongly believe that the first thing to do is to grant bail to Nnamdi Kanu. Let's go back to the foundation. It's to grant him bail. But let me also appeal to the president. I'm not saying he should interfere in judicial matters. But there is need for us to find a middle ground to bring peace to Southeast. Many things has gone wrong in the East. Is it that Nigerians don't feel for the destruction going on in the Southeast? Businesses are being burned to the ground. People are being killed. All sorts of criminal activities is going on. Even security agencies are also being killed. And whenever anybody is killed in the East, they call it unknown gunmen. Don't we want, timely resolution of these issues? And we said that the first foundation is to grant Nnamdi Kanu unconditional bail, and then we'll commence that process of reconciliation and harmonization of these issues. People in the East are human beings. Everybody was expecting that this Christmas was going to be the first beginning of returning peace to the Southeast, because people were expecting, people were warming up for it. And then a few days to Christmas, the Supreme Court agrees that his arrest was illegal, that the rendition was illegal, that the invasion of his house was illegal, but he should remain in DSS custody. That's why I say it's a sad December.
Most Nigerians, there is now a process of judicial rascality, because if the Supreme Court condemns all the processes, especially the rendition that brought him back to Nigeria, and you're not asking that he goes back to the Federal High Court for the trial to start, I feel it's a lot of injustice. It's a lot of injustice in all forms of jurisprudence. So all I will say that we just leave it in the hands of God at the end of the day. How can somebody, it's difficult to make a comment, because when you listen to the judgment when it started, it was clear that they accepted the illegality committed by the federal government of Nigeria in all aspects of it. And yet you went on to this, to remove the judgment of the appeal courts because of lack of jurisdiction, which they learned about the lower court. I don't think that is fairness in any consideration, but they say that they are final because it's the Supreme Court.
It's indeed a very sad day today. If you looked at the judgment, the court showed empathy in the way the rendition was conducted, the torture, the treatment meted out to Nnamdi Kanu. It's just a technical matter, just like the counsels for Nnamdi Kanu has stated. I'm sure they are going back to the drawing board, starting again from the High Court all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is sympathetic.
The Supreme Court is the Supreme Court. What the Supreme Court says represents the law. We respect it. We go by it. There is no other way. We had hope that it will come our way, but it has gone the other way. It simply means that we have to go back to the High Court and get done with this quickly. We still have hope. We're not in despair.
By the grace of God,
Yes, so
victory is assured
yes,
at the end of the day.
Granting him bail today. The president, riding on this extract from the ruling of the Supreme Court today, Kanu as the father of the nation, issue a broadcast and then issue knowledge, discontinue the trial and grant him unconditional bail and commence the process for political and political solutions to the matter. So that at the end of the day, every part of Nigeria can come together on that principle of justice, equity, and fairness.